Yo, what's going on, guys? Jetxc here. Hopefully you guys have been doing good. I'm gonna try and make this video as short as possible. I don't want to go on like a 20-minute rant. Hopefully this video is like 5-6 minutes, but CN basically has gotten all the quality of life ever that Nikke, global fans, JP, everybody has been asking for since launch. And as someone that's been there since launch, all of these would have been nice to have, okay? So let's read this. The CN version has practically all the quality of life changes we've been asking for over 2 years so far. All the confirmed changes. Loading times are reduced, significantly reduced, and this I have seen. It literally takes 10 seconds to load into Nikke, bro. On EN servers, it takes, or NA servers, it takes a minute 30 on average. I timed myself on stream a couple of months ago. It took me a minute 30 to get in. Now, it may vary. It may be a minute 15, but the problem is it's been an issue forever with their spaghetti code, bro. Tribe towers have auto progress. Unbelievable. Like, just unbelievable, guys. I cannot. All the times we got to sit there and click, and you meet, dude, no words. No words. Molds don't have SRs, and failed molds build up to 100 SSR mold. Basically a pity system, and they don't have SRs. This is the biggest slap in the face to Nikke fans that have been supporting this game for over 2.5 years. Guys, molds could literally change your account. All those pilgrims you were trying to get, or all the SSRs in general, you could have gotten at the beginning of the game, or at least they could have given us this change 6 months into the game, a year into the game. But we still have the same mold system. And guess what? The only change they made to molds, if you guys remember, was a 1% increase to molds. A 1% increase. That was the change they gave us like a year and a half ago. And they have no SRs and 100% SSR mold. Pity. Not only that, let me find it. Look at this. Where is it? Shoot. Here it is. Manufacture, and first off, shout out to Sefi. We follow each other on Twitter, on X, whatever. And I've gotten a lot of this info from Reddit and him because he's just been posting. Shout out to him. So, manufacturer molds are also 100%. Imagine losing pilgrim molds could not be our CN bros. Guys, this is, how many times have you guys saved up everything you had for those pilgrim molds? You saved up 1, 2, 3 pilgrim molds only to get SR units. How many videos are there on the Reddit, on YouTube, where somebody opens up 10 molds and it's SR units? This is, like, I don't even think changing this for global is enough, because this is such a terrible quality of life. I honestly think you would need some type of compensation. I legit think they would need to give us molds in order for this to even be remotely something that people would not complain about. For years, there are people right now spending all of their molds right now, not knowing that CN is getting 100% on the manufactured molds, and pity with the regular SSR modes. I can't believe this. I just, this blows my mind. This is one of the biggest slaps in the face to Nikke players that have been supporting for over 2.5 years. Battle Pass has 2 levels, one for pulls, one for resources. Check this. $10, you can get 25 tickets, standard tickets. And then for the Battle Pass, $20 and you get everything. There are so many battle passes where the skins are just not that good. A majority of the battle pass skins are like kind of meh. So if you wanted to get tickets, the deal, like $10 for 25 is a steal. That's actually really good value, and we've yet to get that. We've just had to spend $20 on the battle pass, and sometimes you don't even want the skin, you just want the resources / tickets. All right, multiple characters have had their kits buffed. According to Sefi, he will cover them in time. So I'm just gonna quickly show you guys this, and again, like, shout out to Sefi, but here's an example, and I don't know what they're going to do for global servers, but here's an example of uni. So global over here, CN over here, they add in a 15.36 charge damage increase for 10 seconds. Over here, 4.22% lifesteal versus 2.7, and 23% HP potency for all allies for 10 seconds. Unreal. I don't know. I honestly, to be fair, I don't know what they'd even do for global, man. Do we buff these characters, or would these be like treasures? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, is this going to be a treasure? I don't know. I really don't think these are going to come to global, these changes. To be fair, I really don't know what to say to this. This is just like, wow, okay. I don't know. But let's keep going, man. So, you can now level up 5 characters at once until you're over the 160 wall. Now, I really don't even know what to say to this one, guys, because I know a lot of you have all experienced the 160 wall. As somebody that was here day one that didn't get the quality of life that global got, because I was already well past the 160 wall, I think it took me, no bullshit, anywhere between 4 to 6 months. I don't remember, but I remember dreading that damn 160 wall, bro. Maybe 3 to 6. I can't remember. I'm sorry. It's been a long time, but that, again, we've had quality of life given to new players for the 160 wall. Why could they not give us this? I really want you guys to understand the effort that they had to put in, because they've been working with Tencent for this entire thing. Tencent is helping them enter the market, so they're helping them build up this app for them. Tencent is telling these motherfuckers, look, if you guys want CN and you want a good launch, you have to make these quality of life changes. All these things. The CN market is so important, and I understand, because the player base is huge. If you guys don't know, I've covered Nikke investor reports. They make anywhere between like 7.6 to 8.6 mil a month. On Annie, they make slightly more, but in a quarter, they make around 23 to 24 million. They could literally, CN, if it's successful enough, they could make what all the other servers combined make for them. So if Nikke with the JP servers, global servers, make 8.6 mil, CN by itself could easily make that amount, and now they're bringing home double of what they make, almost 20 mil, right? So I get the urgency for CN, but this is a slap in the face, because it feels like we're beta testing and we have no communication from them. Shops have been updated with better resources, and characters are available in other shops. Update: CN has animated solo raid frames, and let's see if I have it here for you guys. Here we go. Now, you may not say it's a big deal, but again, this kind of things like this motivate people to try harder on solo raids and stuff. So it's nice to see that they put in an effort to animate these. Anyway, let's keep going. Synchro Machine no longer has a 4-hour cooldown to add new characters. Now, this may not seem like a big deal, and to be fair, it isn't. But this is the problem. It's not a big deal, but yet for 2.5 years, they didn't add it to global, guys. They didn't add it to global. It's the easiest quality of life change they could ever do. New Nikke comes out. Oh crap, I forgot to take a Nikke off the synchro device. Now you have to wait 4 hours, but you really want to level up this Nikke, you really want to test them. Now you have to spend some gems to get that 4-hour timer out of there. This could have been the easiest. All it takes is one guy logging into the code and being like, hang on, let me do this real quick for the global people. Turn off the timer, and boom, that's it. That's it. It's insane, guys. This is such an easy thing they could have added. But we spent time with Championship Arena that took over 2 years to make, and the only people that benefit from it are the 0.1% of the population, which are the whales. Now, Update 3. Resetting units, unit levels no longer cost gems, only useful to new players. So with this one here, this is another one that's not a big deal, but it's a big deal for new players. You can, and again, shout out to Sephi. Let's read. Nikke CN resetting units does not cost gems. This is mostly only useful for new players, since for veterans after the 200 levels, it's useless. Still nice quality of life, so you could try different units without worrying about currency. Guys, these are simple fixes that could have been in the game a long time ago. I've even talked about how it's hard to recommend this game after like 1.5 years of Nikke, because there's just so much FOMO. There's so much you have to do with the 160 wall. There's so much story to have to catch up to. This right here could change things. That combined with you can now level up 5 characters at once to until you hit 160. Like, bro. And then here's something funny. The CN version has a censorship bypass that lets characters have the same designs as global. So, to be fair, global is the uncensored version, but global was also censored. When the game came out day one, they censored Rupee. I think they censored... Gosh, I forget. I think they censored Ludmilla. Like, they made some censorships that people found out, and obviously they did it so they could keep the game 12+, but imagine if global had their own localization file, to where things like the whole, like, I don't know if you guys remember the whole thing with Bae, how her legs, every time she do a can kick, it would make sure that the skirt wouldn't fly up, or when she's in her shooting pose, basically the skirt is at this weird angle, and it just, basically, weird types of censorship. It would be interesting if we actually had a localization +1 that would show us the uncensored version, but technically global is the uncensored version, so good for CN, man. They have an actual localization file that they can easily change. So, and Sephi says you can completely decensor the CN version of Nikke on the config files, only PC, I think. So not only they have better quality of life, molds, and kits, but they all keep the fan service, which is nuts. And then I'll just read this. I don't see a single excuse as to why global did not get these QOL changes. Even worse is that global Nikke accounts are shilling Stellar Blade 24/7, now pretending we don't notice what they are doing on the CN servers. I'm not liking the radio silence that the devs have had since 2.5 Annie. It feels like they put the game on autopilot, and they are only using it as a platform to promote Stellar Blade for the foreseeable future. So one thing I can agree on is they definitely have this game on autopilot, right? It's just pump out new character with an event, and because they do this every single update, they just completely ignore quality of life. And I think that's one of the reasons it took them over just about 2 years to bring us Championship Arena. It's just a lot of these changes just weren't a priority for them, man. And like the thing with the mats, the materials needed to level up characters, they only did that because there was a huge uproar, and then they were like, oh, we didn't realize. And so for the 2.5 event, they gave us extra material, and they said later on they'll find a way to give us more mats in general. But the thing is, bro, it's like this has been a complaint for over a year. And then, yeah, shout out to Styx. Styx is a big YouTuber. He's kind of talking about this. Shift Up are showing a complete and utter bias when it comes to regional versions of their game, favoring CN and letting global suffer, offering tons of quality of life improvements and features that global doesn't have, but have been looking forward to and asking for it for years. This is disgusting, and Shift Up needs to address this before this damages not only their but also Nikke's reputation. Reputation is one of the best gacha games in the genre, which in general I would say Nikke is pretty solid, but he's right. A lot of these things that people have been asking for years has deteriorated that quality that Nikke has always had. I've always said if they made these changes, Nikke would be one of the best waifu collector games in the genre. But unfortunately, and of course the fan service could go up a little bit. Unfortunately, it's cooked. I don't know what they could do. I don't know when they're going to address this, but yeah. Let me know what you guys think in the comments, man. Obviously, I'm an avid fan of Nikke, and I've been preaching this shit, and to see CN get all this blows my mind. Because if this was added like a year ago or even 6 months ago, I don't even know, man. Or if the molds were added a year ago, like I wouldn't have this much fatigue with Nikke. But all right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm out. Later.